Welcome to Today from Yesterday, where I look at events that are happening today and try to explain them by looking back at yesterday. And a lot further than yesterday, like a whole lot further. So, this video is going to be about The Force Awakens, and I know that a lot of people have seen it, and you've probably seen it several times, but if you have not, please don't watch this because there will be spoilers. So one question that kept popping up in the conversation with my friends about the movie was what the Resistance relationship with the New Republic was. Exactly how did that work? I hope to compare their relationship with things that happened in the past in order to give you a better understanding of the movie and history. First, the movie suggests that the Resistance is independent of the New Republic, but is still funded and supplied by them. This would be a classic case of a proxy war, and some of you should be familiar with this because it's basically how every war has been waged since the Cold War. A proxy war is typically used by a large nation to fight in something that they don't want to be directly associated with. There are numerous reasons why a nation might want to use a proxy war, either international pressure or domestic pressure to avoid open conflict. In the New Republic's case, I'm pretty sure it comes from war weariness. I mean, think about it. The galaxy experienced war after war for over 100 years. I mean, not to mention it was the conflict with the Trade Federation in episodes 1 through 3 that allowed Palpatine to rise to power in the first place. Germany had devastated continental Europe during both World Wars, and any militaristic action by the Germans after World War II was seen as a threat to the rest of the world. The same could be said about the New Republic. Any attempt by the Grand Counselor to muster up a militaristic force large enough to take on the First Order could be seen as an attempt to recreate the Empire. So we have a situation in which the New Republic cannot take any sort of overt military action against the First Order. So what do they do? Believe it or not, France was in a very similar position during the American Revolution. I mean, think about it. You have the Americans who are sick of oppressive taxation by the British. Yet they don't have the funds or the means to wage effective war. So France, being a long-term competitor of the British, see a chance to undermine their colonial holdings and a chance to weaken their power. France decides to finance the American Revolution, but they don't have much say in the Americans' actions. In this way, the Americans were being funded but stayed autonomous. And the same could be said about the Resistance and the New Republic. They were being funded, but the Resistance largely acted on their own. So to summarize, Leia Organa recognized that the First Order needed to be dealt with, but also recognized that the people of the Republic would not support another war. The only option is for Leia to organize an insurgent force to wage guerrilla warfare within First Order space. Plus, that's like what she's really good at. I mean, she's had tons of experience throughout episodes 4 through 6 in doing this and seeing exactly how it's done. So, the New Republic funds them, but also denies any sort of involvement. The situation in Star Wars is not terribly complex. They just didn't do a great job explaining it. I mean, would you really want them to? Looking at you, episodes 1 through 3. So now that we understand the relationship between the New Republic, the Resistance, and the First Order, my only other question for the movie is, why did the Resistance let the First Order fire the sun lasers? If they're so concerned with the safety of the New Republic, wouldn't they try and do everything to stop this? I mean, the simple answer is plot parallels. I mean, J.J. Abrams is going for that whole thing where The Force Awakens is basically like an homage to the original trilogy while also tweaking a few things to kind of make it, like this is different. Like I'm making my own thing, but I'm also paying homage to the old stuff. My thing, I like the old stuff, but this is my thing. But that's kind of a boring answer, and I've got a much better one that I'll give you in the next video. See you then.